Hello everyone, it's Hans from Kunidev. Welcome to this Unity tutorial. Today we are going to take a quick tour of the Unity editor and get familiar with its core windows and feature. Whether you're building a games or a simulations, knowing how to navigate the editor is essential. So let's jump right in. Okay, I know opening Unity for the first time can feel super intimidating. Well, I totally get it. When I first switched from making music to learning programming, I had no clue what I was doing. I remember staring at this Unity editor and thinking, where do I even start? Well, it actually took me 3 years to feel comfortable navigating Unity and building games with it. But here's the good news, and I'm confident you can get there way faster than I did. If you stick with it, you could master Unity in a year or even in a 6 months. So today I'm gonna explain everything about Unity editor from the hierarchy, scene, game view, inspector, project, console view, almost anything that you need to get started with Unity. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, the first step is hierarchy windows, and usually it's located on the left side here. But you can change the layout of this Unity editor from this button here. You can choose 2x3, you can choose 4 split, or you can choose tall and wide. It's up to you, it's your own preference. But because I'm used to default scene, I'm gonna use this scene for these explanations. Okay, so what is hierarchy tab? Hierarchy tab is like a tree structure that mirrors what's physically in the scenes. Objects can be nested under each other to form a parent-child relationship, something like this. So you can left click here and create empty game object, and you can create another empty game object. You can put it inside the game object as the child of this game object. Okay, now the next step is scene view. These big panels here is your 3D or 2D workspace where you can visually place and manipulate objects in your games. So for example, let's left click here on the hierarchy tab, create 2D object, sprites and square. Okay, now you can see here in the scene view, you can change anything, change the scale, the location. So you can manipulate anything in the scene view. There is a tool here. You can use the fill tools, move tools, rotate, scale, and this one, transform, and the transform location tools. So it's up to you which one do you want to use it. Okay, and you can use your middle mouse to pan left and right, and you can scroll up to zoom, scroll backward to zoom out. Okay, something like this. So think of it like a place where you can change anything about your object in Unity. Okay, and the next view is game view, and this is where your player will actually see your games. It displays the camera perspective along with the UI elements and other visual. And you can test your game by pressing this play button here. Okay, this is the play button. There's nothing here because we don't have anything here yet, but this is just for example. And you can choose the display, Full HD, QHD, 4K, or anything that you want, or you can even make a custom one. For example, 900 and 600. Okay, and then the display will feel exactly like what you choose here. Okay, and the next windows is the inspector windows here, and usually it's on the right side, and this is one of the most important panels here. It shows you all the details of whatever object is selected. So for example, I select this square, and you can see the transform, and you can also change it here, manipulate the number, the value here. You can change the color of the sprite, okay, the sorting layers, or you can even add components to the game object. For example, you can add box collider if you want to have physics in your games, which if you're interested how to use box collider and do physics games, you can comment below and tell me about what kind of tutorial that you are interested. I'm gonna try to make a new video just for you. Okay, now the next tab is the project windows, and usually it's down at the bottom here. So this is your file system within Unity. Everything in your projects, models, texture, scripts, audio lives here, and you can organize here, import file from your computer or create a new ones here. So example, you can left click and create a new folder, and you can type it assets, enter, and you can put it anything that you want. So for example, I have 3 image here that I imported from my PC, and I have the script folder and the sound folder. So this is for organizational purpose, so everything will be easier to be accessed. And if you have some problem with script, some problem with the graphics, you can directly know where you have to find it. Okay, the next one is the console view. This is your debugging hub. It shows error messages, warnings, and logs, and it is especially useful if you have already a script. So for example, I have a script here, the sound script. I will drag and drop it into this square. Okay, this is just for testing. Okay, let's play it. And you can see in the console there's a warning here, SFX index out of range. What is this? So you can double click it, and it goes directly to your script. And because I have already used debug log warning here, this is just for the warning that I intentionally did. So if there is an error or problem, it will show up here in the console view. Okay, and the last one is the toolbar, the play button and the pause button here. And this is actually a really simple, just play. If you want to go into play mode, you can pause if you want to change a little bit value here, or you can unpause it, or you can stop it. Okay, one thing to remember in the play mode, whatever you change the color, whether it's to green in the play mode, it will not be safe, because in the play editor, everything won't be safe unless you copy the color on the play mode. So make sure to change everything before the play mode. Ctrl S, Ctrl save, and go to the play mode. Because if you did all of everything, the change in this game object, in these components here, and you don't save it, it will return to the previous state. Well, and that's a quick tour of the Unity editor. So this panel, hierarchy, scene, game, inspector, project, console are your main workspace tool. Once you are comfortable navigating them, you'll be able to build, debug, and polish your games much more efficiently. So for example, I'm gonna show you a little example. Left click here, 2D object sprite square, and go to the project here, graphics. You can drag in a image to the sprite, and boom, you have your first game object in the games. If you press play, the game will show this object for your players. Okay, remember, everything seems complicated at first, but if you take it slowly, stay patient, and practice a little every day, it all starts to make sense. And trust me, even the most complex tool becomes simple once you give yourself time to grow with them. Well, if you have any more questions or if there's some things you'd like to see in the next video, feel free to drop a comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this helpful, please hit that like buttons and subscribe to support this channel. Alright, I think that's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.